Mazuma TV back in the building, man. What's going on, y'all? Shout out to Mazuma Nation. Shout out to the Mazuma Mob. We in the building as always, man. I hope everybody's having a blessed, beautiful, positive, productive day. Me, I'm just chilling at the crib right now, man. Just enjoying my time off, man. And I just seen that we have passed the 1,800 mark, man. Shout out to the nation and the mob for making this possible, man. You know what I'm saying? We on the road to 2K as always, and we'll be at the 1,900 mark in due time, man. I appreciate everybody that's been contributing to the channel, whether it's super chats, you know what I mean, cash apps, you feel what I mean, great conversation in the live chats and stuff like that, watching the videos, you know what I mean, just really participating in the channel, man. It does a lot, you know what I mean, it motivates me. And let's continue pushing the boxing culture forward, man. But let's get back into this boxing talk, man. Let's address the whole situation that's going on with Sebastian Fundora, man. Now, I woke up to articles being sent to me this morning, man, by multiple people, the group chat that I got on Instagram and stuff like that. And I had seen reports that Sebastian Fundora has been physically suspended from boxing by the Nevada State Athletic Commission for 6 months, man. 6 months, that's definitely a blow for us boxing fans and stuff like that. And I was really trying to look for the reason as to why he is being suspended so long. They mentioned it as a medical issue. And, the WBO is currently they're waiting for the medical certification. You know what I mean? So they could have like an idea of exactly what's going on with Sebastian Fundora. And when I was reading the article, it wasn't really saying specifically why the suspension was so long. They did mention that he had suffered a broken nose against Tim Tszyu, and that's something that I had observed. You know what I mean? I could tell just by watching the fight by how thick the blood was and a series of straight right hands that he had, got hit with against Tim Tszyu. I was under the assumption that the nose was broken, so that may be legit. You know what I mean? But in all honesty, in my experience with boxing, as long as I've been in boxing, how long I've been a part of the pro boxing scene, I've seen people knocked out cold. I've seen broken noses. I've seen broken orbital bones. I've seen just about everything you can see in the sport of boxing, and still they'll be able to come back before 6 months. You know what I'm saying? But then again, different athletic commissions have different rules in place. You know what I mean? Maybe Nevada, they're not the ones who are fans of like quick turnarounds for fighters after sustaining injuries and stuff like that. So who knows what the fuck is going on? But all I know is I've seen worse happen to fighters, and they're able to return in a quicker time frame to 6 months. You know what I mean? So that means that Sebastian Fundora probably won't come back to the sport of boxing until the end of the year. You know what I'm saying? Because we're currently in the 4th month of the year. 6 months, that'll leave October for him to, resume training. So he probably won't resume training till the end of September, early October. And, training camps are usually between 6 to 8 weeks. So we're talking about, a possible return at December. You know what I mean? And I'm not the biggest like conspiracy theorist or anything like that, or anything like that. I don't really like to jump out of the window with conclusions and make assumptions about people undermining other people and stuff like that. But at the same time, I'm not the biggest supporter of like coincidences. You know what I mean? I'm not a big believer in coincidences. You feel what I'm saying? And I just find it funny how the WBO is coming out. They really pressing the issue to try to get Sebastian Fundora to face Terence Crawford, man. They doing their job as a sanctioning body. You know what I mean? Meanwhile, we got Sebastian Fundora's team, coming out and saying how, they're not really prioritizing the Terence Crawford fight next after Tim Tszyu. You know what I mean? It seems like they're more enthusiastic and optimistic about facing Earl Spence. You know what I mean? They even brought up the idea of rematching Tim Tszyu and stuff like that. It just seems like the last thing they want to do is face Terence Crawford. And with them feeling the heat from the WBO, suddenly, days after the fight, now we're currently, what today is Wednesday. You know what I mean? The fight was on Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It takes 4 days for the Nevada State Athletic Commission to come out and suspend the fighter. They should have an idea of the health of a fighter immediately after a fight. When a fighter steps out of the ring, they get checked up by a doctor in the back. They make sure everything's cool. They gotta stitch you up, whatever the hell. And then if it's something that they feel like is really concerning, then they'll send you off to the hospital. You know what I mean? Just to get checked. And then from there, they'll be able to tell you what's going on, or how long you need to rest, and exactly what's going on with you. And then from there, the Nevada State Athletic Commission makes a decision on how long they feel like you should fall back. You know what I'm saying? So I just find it funny that it's taking so long for these guys to come up with this suspension, or at least announce this suspension. You feel what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. I know that PBC and the Nevada State Athletic Commission, they have a history. They do a lot of their big fights over in Nevada. So I don't believe it's necessarily far-fetched for, the Nevada State Athletic Commission to help these guys out. You know what I mean? To postpone some shit, to get away from some shit. Because the last thing Sebastian Fundora wants to do is vacate his title, because that's going to really diminish his stock in the game. It's going to make him look like a ducker. You know what I'm saying? He's going to look like he's cherry picking, or whatever the situation may be. It may look like he doesn't want any smoke with Terence Crawford. So how can he be able to avoid Terence Crawford without, facing the criticism or getting his belt taken away from him? A medical suspension. You know what I'm saying? So that could be that. You know what I mean? Maybe he is really messed up. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he does have a pretty good concussion. Maybe his broken nose is pretty bad. He might need some surgery on his nose. I don't know the context of the situation. These guys did not put too much detail into the article, but I do, like I said, I've seen worse happen to fighters. I've seen fighters accumulate a lot of damage. I've seen fighters knocked out cold. I've seen people get knocked out, put in oxygen masks, and then return to the sport 4 or 5 months later. You see what I mean? So I just find it funny that Sebastian Fundora looked fine to me. He did the post-fight press conference. He stepped out of the ring on his own. He was talking pretty well. He didn't look like he was that down bad to me. You feel what I mean? So let's see if they're able to show the proof necessary in terms of Sebastian Fundora really being messed up, so they could give him the clear and be able to have him keep his belt. But if this is a situation, if this is the lengths they're gonna go to in order to duck Terence Crawford, bro, they need to just take that belt off of him. You know what I mean? Y'all knew that Terence Crawford was the 147-pound WBO champion. You know that he has a history of putting in requests to become mandatory when he moves up in weight for the WBO. He did it when he was at 140. You know what I'm saying? He became Jeff Horn's mandatory immediately into transitioning into 147 pounds, and he fought Jeff Horn. You know that he was bound to do that shit again. You know what I'm saying? So I don't understand exactly why it's such an issue with facing Terence Crawford, or why Terence Crawford is facing so many obstacles at this point in time. You know what I'm saying? There's nobody more deserving than Terence Crawford. It's simple and plain, bro. The Tim Tszyu rematch, that's cool because it was a good fight. And, Tim Tszyu faced a little adversity that may have hindered his performance. The Errol Spence fight is cool, but, Terence Crawford, I feel like Errol Spence needs to build himself back up, like Terence Crawford said. You know what I mean? He needs to build himself back up and really earn his shot. You know what I mean? I just feel like he has a strong sense of entitlement. You know what I mean? He got stopped in his last fight, and all of a sudden he thinks he's in line or first in line. He's able to skip the line for a unification fight at 154 when there's fighters that's much more deserving than Errol Spence at this point for that opportunity. You know what I mean? So I think that Terence Crawford should be the number one guy being up against Sebastian Fundora. I don't think nobody's more worthy than Terence Crawford at this point in time. But it just seems like they're doing everything in their power to try to, keep Terence Crawford at a distance and not give him this opportunity, man. You know what I mean? It's just something that I keep observing. It's something that I keep noticing, and I'm not going to ignore it, man. Now, everybody else might have different opinions on the situation. Maybe they do feel like Sebastian Fundora is messed up and that, he needs to prioritize his health. Cool. You know what I'm saying? But if Sebastian Fundora keeps this belt, you know what I mean? If he actually gets the exemption from the WBO or whatever, he's given the pass, he's able to keep the belt, at the end of the year, it needs to be Sebastian Fundora and Terence Crawford straight like that. You know what I mean? If they're not really feeling the excuses, then they need to strip him and have Terence Crawford fight whoever the fuck is number one in line for the WBO title at 154 pounds, which is Josh Kelly. Is that a great fight? Not really. You know what I'm saying? Josh Kelly actually lost to the dude that Terence Crawford had knocked out in his hometown at Omaha, and David Evanesian. And I believe David Evanesian stopped Josh Kelly. You know what I mean? And I haven't heard nothing from Josh Kelly ever since then. You see what I mean? He's just been playing it under the radar out in the UK. You know what I'm saying? So, that's not a really good fight in my opinion. I'm not really feeling that fight at all. I feel like Terence Crawford needs to take on top dogs at this point in time. You know what I mean? So let's see what comes out, man. I'm not gonna just call Sebastian Fundora a ducker right now, but as of right now, it's not really looking too good on him and his team. It just seems like they're going about this in a way where they're trying to eliminate Terence Crawford as the #1 opponent by any means necessary. You know what I mean? That's just my observation. I could be right. I could be wrong. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments below. This is Mazuma TV. Thank you very much for tuning into the channel, man. On the road to 2K, and we'll be at the 1900 mark in due time, man. I'll be live tonight, so be on the lookout for those videos, man. I'll be on between 11:30 tonight, Eastern Standard Time, man. So be on the lookout for that. This is Mazuma TV. Thank you very much for tuning in. I'm out of here, man. Peace.